Hello, my name is Riley with Secret Nightmares Uncovered. Today we'll be talking about Mercedes Lain, an 11-month-old baby of Tiffany Coburn, aka Tiffany Jo Milton, and Kenneth Lain. On August 15, 2021, in Plymouth, Indiana, police officer Kenneth responded to a call at the Economy Inn at 2535 North Michigan Road, room 246, about a missing 11-month-old baby. Kenneth Lain, the father, and Tiffany Coburn, the mother, said they left Mercedes with a family friend, Justin Miller, because they needed a break. That was on Friday, August 13th. Miller was supposed to bring the baby back the next day, but then decided he would bring her back on Sunday. The parents said they tried calling Miller all weekend and had no answer until Sunday, August the 15th. Miller said he came by to drop the baby off and they weren't home, so he left her with someone in another room at the motel. Another person at the motel said the parents brought them a duffel bag with a safe in it, and that had allegedly had their drugs in the safe, but they didn't want it in their room because they had to call the police about the baby being missing. So a silver alert was issued on August the 16th for Miller and the baby. Miller was located at the home of Paul Coffin in Stark County, and when Miller arrived at the Plymouth police station, he waived his Miranda rights. Miller said on August 12th, Kenneth Lain contacted him to buy synthetic marijuana. He changed his story multiple times, saying he went to a McDonald's at Coons Lake and stayed at the Coffin residence for a few days. Then he said he went to his girlfriend's home in Mishawaka and then to the Coffin residence after his girlfriend kicked him out on Saturday. And then, after leaving the home in Mishawaka, he said he left Mercedes at the Economy Inn with a short, heavy-set white female that he has seen before with Kenneth and Tiffany, and he had an appointment, so he couldn't keep the baby with him. Marshall County Police spoke with Coffin, who said he saw Miller with the baby on Friday the 13th, but when Miller came back on Sunday, the 15th, the baby was not with him. On August 16th at approximately 8:30 a.m., the officer made contact with Tiffany Coburn. She said she was waiting on a ride from her sister so she could get to the police station to talk about the baby. At 11 a.m., she still had not come in and the phone was off. Her sister said that she hadn't seen her since 3 o'clock that morning after taking Tiffany and Kenneth to search for their baby at 3 a.m. Both Tiffany Coburn and Kenneth Lain were uncooperative in looking for their baby. Also, on August the 16th, Tiffany was transported back to the Plymouth police station. She said she didn't know where Kenneth Lain or Justin Miller were. She was read her Miranda rights, and the police found she had been messaging both Lain and Miller on Facebook Messenger. Coburn also admitted to using methamphetamines on numerous occasions. Kenneth Lain was located at Red Rock Inn at 6 p.m. August 16th. He was sent to the Marshall County Jail and was interviewed. He admitted to speaking to Coburn and Miller in Facebook Messenger and said he had been in contact with Miller throughout the weekend, but had no idea where he was now. Lain was also under the influence when he was arrested of an unknown substance. On August the 18th, Justin Miller was interviewed at the Marshall County Jail. He was read his Miranda rights, and it was then Miller said when he woke up on August the 14th, the baby was deceased. Miller said he disposed of Mercedes' body at a property in Stark County. On August 18, 2021, Miller took officers to 1025 East and 50 North in Stark County, where they found little Mercedes' lifeless body. An autopsy was done, and it showed Mercedes died from blunt force injuries to her head. So let's talk about Miller, Lain, and Coburn. In 2016, Kenneth Lain was convicted of child neglect for allowing a man to have sex with his 12-year-old daughter in exchange for marijuana. Lain pled guilty to neglect. His 12-year-old later then gave birth to the baby fathered by this 20-year-old. She and the baby have been reportedly adopted by a new family. How was he allowed to have custody of any more children after that charge? Kenneth Lain has been charged with neglect of a dependent, placing a dependent in a situation that would endanger her. The same charges he was charged with in 2016 when he let that man R-word his 12-year-old. He has had possession of a syringe and many other drug charges and infractions and many traffic violations. Tiffany Jo Coburn, also charged with neglect and placing her child in a situation that is dangerous. She also has charges, drug charges, syringe charges, many other infractions, and also many different traffic violations. Justin Miller has been charged with neglect of a dependent resulting in death. Justin also has drug charges and other infractions. Tiffany Coburn and Kenneth Lain are actually being allowed to leave jail for Mercedes' funeral on August the 27th. I don't know how I feel about that. A judge has granted an order that made by Coburn to attend the services for Mercedes. She will be supervised by the Marshall County Sheriff's Department. Kenneth Lain has also made the same request, and it also was granted. On Tuesday, August the 24th, Miller entered a plea of not guilty to neglect in Mercedes' death. And remember, she was found in a wooded area, thrown out like trash. He is facing 20 to 40 years, which isn't long enough in my opinion. The baby's death was ruled a homicide. Marshall County prosecutor said there was no evidence that Kenneth Lain and Tiffany Coburn knew where their daughter was or that she was actually deceased. There's no evidence. Although police say they don't have the evidence, the mother and father were directly involved in their daughter's death. Mercedes' extended family has been trying to convince authorities to take her for a while now for her safety. Angie Owens, who's Coburn's mother, was infuriated and so sad about Mercedes' death as any grandmother would be, saying she will not protect Lain and Coburn. They are not good parents, she said. She also said she's called CPS many times, and it looks like, again, CPS has dropped the ball. They both have records filled with misdemeanor and felony drug charges. Lain and Coburn are due back in court September the 15th. They have both entered pleas of not guilty. This is a sad story. A story that's becoming all too familiar these days. I don't understand it, how anybody could treat an infant or anybody that they cared about like this, and to just hand their baby over to someone who threw her out like trash. He threw her in a wooded area and didn't have any regard at all for that child's life. He didn't care. Miller just threw her out, and I cannot imagine or fathom leaving my child with just anybody, and it seems like they did that, and they also now have to pay the consequences. Remember, always be kind and show love, especially in the world today. Thank you.